Good day, friends. Today we will be discussing on the formulation and testing of hypotheses. Uh, this will be the last topic in the module 2. So finishing this topic, we will be going to module 3. This video, if you are able to understand thoroughly, then you have understood the concept of hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing is a sure shot question in your examination. You will definitely get 1 or 2 questions in section A and section B pertaining to hypothesis, construction or development of hypothesis, and finally testing of hypothesis. Here in this video, I am giving you an example of how a hypothesis is framed and how can it be tested using a t-test in the Excel sheet. This could also be of help to you when it comes to the matter of your mini projects and your dissertations. Thus, I ask you friends to pay good attention to what's going to happen for the next 7 to 8 minutes on this video. To understand how we do this hypothesis, I have taken a small caselet. So I am going to read the caselet for you. The college principal wants to figure out which of the gender, whether that is the male or female, is committing more time for their study. To simply state, it is to be found whether boys or girls are spending more time on their education, and also to find if there is any significant difference between their study hours. So the problem is, we wanted to find between the gender, which of the gender is more serious towards the studies. This is a long-standing question and it has always been there. So many years they look into the marks in the SSLC and in the PU and say that girls have performed well, boys have outperformed girls this time, etc. So the same typical example I have been taking in order to just explain how the hypothesis is formulated. Now you can just come below and then you can have a look at it. There is a small spelling in the hypothesis. Formulation of hypothesis. Formulation of hypothesis. Now, there are two hypotheses. It can be classified into two. One is null hypothesis, or otherwise called as neutral hypothesis. Generally, people say null hypothesis is a negative hypothesis, which means it will negate. It will say it is not. It is not. Not means it only says that there is no relationship. Neutral, it does not mean there is a negative relationship. For example, you with your neighbor may not be talking to one another. It does not mean you hate each other. So talking to one another, not talking to one another, means the relationship is neutral. Talking to one another and exchanging good pleasantries means the relationship is positive. But in case if you are hating each other and find a reason to fight against one another, then the relationship is negative. Here we are not talking of the negative. We are only talking of a relationship which is neutral, and that is called as a H0 or null hypothesis. So how are we going to set the null hypothesis? You can just have a look at this thing. You can find out H0. There is no significant difference between study hours of boys and girls. I repeat, there is no significant difference between the study hours of boys and girls, which means both boys and girls are putting the same amount of effort, right? So the alternative hypothesis, which is H1, is there is a significant difference in the study hours of boys and girls. So with the alternative hypothesis says, no. It cannot be that both the boys and girls are studying exactly the same number of hours. It is impossible. So we would claim that there will be a difference between that. Right? Now, for instance, this is only giving you, this test will only give you difference. It will not give you how much are the boys studying more than the girls, or how much the girls are studying more than the boys. For these things, we have other statistical tools to figure out. But this test prima facie gives you whether there exists a difference or not. This is a boy, this is a girl. Can you spot the difference? Can you understand? This is a horse and this is a dog. Can you say the difference? Whether it is visually or whether it is in terms of the features or whatever it is, could you be able to spot or say the difference between two different objects? That is the intention behind this test. Okay. Now we go to the test itself. You can see, as there is two groups in the test, we go for t-test. See, the two groups is, one group is the boys, another group is the girl. It's a gender is 2. Therefore, we go for t-test. Sir, what if we have more than two groups? Then we will go for ANOVA. You would have heard it in the business statistics in your first semester. ANOVA means analysis of variance, right? So ANOVA we will go if the group is more than two groups are there. For instance, let us say we are going to look at employment status. Then employed, professional employment, self-employment, government employment, and so many classifications might be there, which means you are grouping it more than two, right? The government employment is one group. So many number of data that you collect will fall under the government employees. Then you may talk to people who are in the private employment. You may talk to people who are in self-employment. You may talk to people who are unemployed, who don't have employment at all. So the groups are already 4 right now at hand. So more than 2 groups, you can't use this test, t-test. You would have to go for analysis of variance around, right? Okay. So now let's quickly come and get into that. Data, let's create a data. Let us say 28 hours, 32 hours, 41 hours, 27 hours, again 22 hours, again 29 hours, 30. What are these? These are the number of hours per hours of study per month by each student. That is boys and girls. Now let's say boys, we will keep it voluntarily low without any hard feelings for the boys. Just to say that there would exist a difference. There will exist a difference. That's the intention, no other nullified intention. 14. So we are having a small set of data. You may sometimes claim, sir, this is a small thing. We can ourselves find that there is a difference between the study hours of boys and girls. Why would we need t-test? You are absolutely right. If the data set is small, as how we are looking at it right now, you wouldn't need any tests to identify the difference. But let's assume the data set runs to about 1000 plus or 2000 or 5000 observations, that is 5000 samples. Then it becomes tedious or almost impossible to say if there exists any difference between the girls and boys. You can try it. You can put even 100 these things like this and try to find out yourself and say with accuracy whether there exists a difference or not. Right? Now what do? You are now going to data. See here, there is home, insert, formula, page layout, formula, data, review, view, developer. You go to data. There is this last tab which is called data analysis tool. You can see this. That is the tools for financial and scientific. Just click it. Now you get this data analysis, right? In this data analysis, you have so many tests like ANOVA single factor, then ANOVA 2 factor, with replication, without replication, correlance, covariance, descriptive. These all things you must be aware. I will take a class on this to you. This would help you. Histogram, moving average will help you to attend or to make your project report for both the dissertation and your second semester mini project. I will teach you how to do it. Now we go for t-tests. T-test, this is not a paired t-test, right? It is a t-test with equal variance. We are having equal number of sample observations, equal variance. This is not unequal variance, equal variance. So now we say, okay, now this is asking for the range. Now you click this and you give the first range. Then again, what do? You click this variable to tab and then you give the second range, that is the boys range. Then what do? Here you are not giving any hypothesized means, not necessary. Now it is this Excel tab is asking you an output range. Where would you want the output to happen? You give the output here, right? You say the output must happen here, that is the results must fall there. Now you say, okay, output range is missing, right? Okay. Now we say, okay. I hope things should be fine now. Yes, good. Things are fine because we have got the results. Now we just go to the result. See, you are able to see the result clearly. Right? This is the t-test assuming equal variance. Now what are we supposed to see? Now our hypothesis, we are testing it quickly now. We straight away go to the p-value. You can see the p-value 0.002. P-value is less than 0.05. That is the significance level of 95%. Now I am not going to explain to you what is the significance level, how is it calculated, etc. because it is a topic for another day. Now we are just going to find out that 95% significance level is available. And what is the value? Our value is p-value. You can see the p-value here. The p-value is the p-value is 0.002. Is this less than 0.05? Is this less than 0.05? Yes, it is less than 0.05, which means we say that there is a significant difference between study hours of male and female. So what do? We accept the alternative hypothesis or we reject the null hypothesis. Because the null hypothesis says, as you can see, just go above, you will be able to find out that the null hypothesis is saying there is no significant difference, which means boys and girls are putting exactly the same number of hours, which is not the case. There is a significant difference between boys and girls according to the test. The test is saying clearly that it is the p-value clearly points out both one-tailed and two-tailed. We are not having a two-tailed test right now. Both one-tailed, and I'll explain to you what this means. It is clearly explaining that the value is significant, which means